Hello, so today we're gonna talk about another topic, and it's about why do we always apologize? So, why we always say sorry even without any reason. So, I decided to talk about it because it's something I was curious about. So, I said, okay, let's search about it. And so, what happens is when we say sorry, it becomes automatic for us to say sorry, to apologize, because it's an automatic response of us when, for example, two people are arguing, right? There's a problem between two people. It can be you and the person you love, or you and your parent, or you and your friends. So some, it can be can happen when both people are arguing. So why people argue, why people yeah why there is like a conflict or stuff like that. It happens because whenever there, every time that, sorry, whenever we have problems, right? Or we are hurt, or there is a problem between us, between the person we are, that we are talking to. Okay, when we argue, also we talk, so we conversate. When we argue, when we fight with someone, psychologically, we are expressing to that person that there's a problem, and that we need to fix that problem. So basically, me, I'm just an it's just an example, okay? So basically, me, when I am talking to someone and I am angry, I am showing to that person that I am angry, or even if you're not angry, you are like feeling pain. You are arguing because you are saying to that person that there's a problem and we need to fix this problem. So what this happens when people argue, maybe they get angry, they overreact, they there's a conflict. So both people are feeling pain, or are expressing their pain when they are arguing, right? So what happens is, sometimes when we argue, we show it in a bad way. So what happens is we shout, we have this high tone, and we also use bad words. Okay, so this is not gonna help. Okay, it's not, instead of expressing things properly, instead of doing everything in a in calm way. So when, instead of speaking calmly, we speak aggressively. Okay, so what happens is, to people, we apologize because we think that it's the safer uh, way. Okay, it's a safer way to prevent the conflict. So people are feeling like, okay, instead of fighting with you, instead of having a conflict with you, I better off say, okay, I'm sorry, and we're gonna end it here. So people are not trying their best anymore to like fix the problem, and they say sorry, it's my fault, okay, it's my fault, I'm sorry, okay, it's done. But actually you didn't solve anything, because in order to solve a problem, you people two people needs to talk to each other, right? To be clear to each other, to tell each other what they are feeling. But what happens is, when we apologize, we avoid fixing the problem. And it's a coping mechanism, not really coping mechanism, but it's actually a behavior or an automatic response. Maybe because in past, okay, maybe you are a person who grew up in an environment where every time you have a problem, you were raised in a, or maybe an environment where your feelings, every time you express your feelings, they are always minimized. Or when you express your emotional needs, or your not a yeah, stuff, emotional needs, or your needs, if in general, the reaction of the other person is always negative, or they never listen to you, they don't even listen to what you are telling. So what happens is, by time they learn that apologizing is better than expressing your needs, than expressing your feelings, because it's the only way to solve the problem. But in reality, when you need to solve a problem, you need to talk about it properly. So people who apologize, by time they learn to do that, because they prefer to maintain connection with that person, even if it means you need to like it, even at the cost of their like boundaries, so of the cost of their peace. So when they are go getting hurt, when the other person is getting hurt, and their instinct is to smooth everything, rather than talking about it. Okay, rather than um, name. Okay, rather than telling what is the problem, what I am feeling, so what you are feeling, stuff like that. And it's not bad. I mean, people learn it because it's a survival mechanism of our body to avoid conflict, um to how do you say that, uh to get peace, not to have peace, instead of creating a big drama or problem. And it happens because um people who do this are, maybe they are they feel empathy, because they understand what the other person is feeling. Maybe they don't want to talk in that time, or I don't know, they know that the person will never listen anyways, so they prefer to um, have peace instead of talking about the problem, to prioritize other people's comfort, and some people also do that because they fear that whenever they try to express their feelings, and they will be minimized anyways, or the person who are they talking to will not listen anyways, so they prefer to, like, to keep to maintain the relationship with that person. And also they fear to be abandoned, because maybe instead of telling what you feel, you will make everything worse, because that person will never listen anyway, so they they fear that if they tell their feelings, they will be abandoned anyways. And sometimes it's very bad. Okay, this is a bad, the like there's a pro and cons about expressing or saying sorry. But yeah, it's a survival mechanism. It's a survival response of our body. And yeah, this is what happens between two people. And this is what I, not really my experience, but what I learned um huh? by observing other people, especially when I observe my parents, when I observe others, when I observe everyone. So you can learn these things even if you never had the experience before, but when you observe things, you learn by it anyways. And it's very nice to talk about, because sometimes it help us. I mean, when we apologize, why we do apologize, when we find out the reason why we always apologize, it help us to know what we need to change, and to fix something. Maybe this is this thing that I already explained you is something that maybe you will not relate or anything. Maybe few people will not even relate to it, and it's fine. And I think this is not a topic for everyone, but this is what I wanted to talk about, because it's something good I learned, because I also to apologize as well. And what I learned is very true. I mean, those are experience that people can have, and it's fine. So what we can do is to, yeah, to knowing this factor, knowing this information will help us to know what we can still improve on and why this happened to us and anything. And yeah, as usual, this is just a random video of me telling you what I learned and everything about psychology topics. But if you are getting benefit from it, I'm very happy to share it to you. And this is what I will be sharing also, and um, telling for my journal as well, video journal on a YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So this is for today's again, and see ya. Bye.